to say from 9th to, probably from 8th to 11th grade, I didn't read at all. I just didn't. I don't know why. And then in, what was it, 2021, like the end of 2020 or the start of 2021, I'm not sure, I started reading again. I found one book that I will talk about later that I really liked, and then I bought 3 more, and then 3 more, and then 2 more, and then it turned into an obsession. So since 2021 I have been reading a lot again, and it's only becoming more and more as the years go by. It's only been 2 years, but the second question is, do you have a reading goal this year? What is it, and do you think you'll reach it? So my reading goal for this year is 50 books. It was unofficial at first because I didn't think I could hit it, and I didn't want to be disappointed because 50 books was my goal last year as well, and I only managed 38, which is a lot, but still. So this year, especially with university, I didn't want to set any goals for myself, but I had the unofficial goal of 50 again, and now I'm at 33 and it's only June. I'm at least 9 books ahead of schedule. At least that's what my Goodreads says. So I do think I will hit it, especially because I can read more in the summer when I don't have university. What genre do you enjoy reading the most and why? That's question number 3. So I love fantasy, absolutely love it. There was a time when I read thrillers, and I also enjoy romance here and there, but fantasy is my go-to genre. I'm very particular about it. I'm not really into the Dungeons and Dragons kind of fantasy, you know, with like elves and dwarves and that kind. I'm not into that. But I really love just superpowers, like magic. I really love that. And yeah, not necessarily urban fantasy, so not like Marvel. I know that's movies, but superpowers, you know, Marvel, no. But just like world building is one of my favorite things to do as a writer and to read about. So just fantasy, like high fantasy, is my forever favorite genre. Yes. Oh, and why? I don't really know. I guess it just, I love different worlds and I love magic. I guess you could say it's escapism, but yeah, I find so much joy in fantasy worlds. Question number 4. What's your favorite book of all time and why? As expected, fantasy. This is The Final Strive by Sooooo I. I bought it last July, read it in August, and fell in love with her writing, with the world, with the characters, with the story. It's just everything I could have asked for in a fantasy book. When I'm saying that fantasy is my favorite genre, this is what I'm talking about. This is peak fantasy for me. This is peak book, peak literature. it also includes a lesbian love story. But I'm not really into romance fantasies. I'm more like into fantasy that has romance as a subplot. But fantasy that is just about romance and about nothing else is kind of meh. In that case, I would much rather read just normal romance. Okay. Question number 5 is, what is the worst book you ever read? Unfortunately, I cannot show it to you because I got rid of it just a week ago and sent it off to a secondhand site that will pay me money for it. But it was Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. If you liked it, that's great. I didn't. It's Boy X Boy, and it's about the son of like superstar who doesn't really know where he is and where he wants to be in life. Who starts dating a lawyer type kind of guy who knows but doesn't like. And it's like fake dating. Can't remember why, but yeah. And I have nothing against fake dating. I have nothing against anything that the book was about. But I did not like the execution at all. I didn't like the characters. I couldn't relate to them, which isn't always a bad thing. But they were just behaving like dumbasses. Like every single character was a dumbass, literally. And they were all just so mean and rude to each other, even the ones who were supposed to be friends. And then the conflict at the end was really bad, and I felt like it didn't get resolved properly, especially because like how I saw it, the son of the superstar was the bigger butthole throughout the book. So he did something wrong and then he apologized, and then he did something wrong again and then he apologized. And then the conflict in the end was that the lawyer guy did something wrong. At least that's how I saw it. And then the superstar guy apologized again. And I was like, what? What is your favorite book related trigger? Show us. I picked this one. But my favorite book related trigger is spine tapping. And this has a really nice spine. I saw this in a GB ASMR video for oddly specific triggers or something, and I just fell in love with it. The trigger, not the book. It's so different, like this is normal. is Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have only read 2 books by her. This one, Daisy Jones and the Six, and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I still don't know how to pronounce her. And they are written totally different. This one is interview kind of style, and then The Seven Husbands of Evelyn is just normal, but from like the eye perspective, like from first perspective, in most parts, I think. And so written very differently, but I just got sucked into those books, and I read both of them. Like for this one I only needed 1 day, and for the other one I also needed just 1 day. And that's just, yeah. I plan on reading more books by her. So, Daisy Jones and the Six. Then question number 8 is, what book has had the biggest impact on your life? And most people would pick a philosophical book for that. Not me though. This is the book that got me back into reading. As I mentioned with the first question, I picked this up in early 2021, and I loved it. It was my first book that got me back into reading. I think maybe except for The Song of Achilles. I always forget that one. I think I read The Song of Achilles before this one. But this one is what really got me back into reading. And I would be a very different person, and I would be at a very different place in life if I hadn't read this book and fallen back in love with reading. Because since then I've read close to 100 books, and I don't know where I would be if I hadn't gotten back into reading. So I'd say this has had the biggest impact on my life. Not in a mental state kind of way, but in a got me back into reading kind of way. And this is also back from when I still broke the spines. I don't do that anymore. Okay. Number 9. Do you prefer reading physical books or ebooks, and why? Physical books. I don't know why. It's just I really prefer physical books, and with ebooks I cannot concentrate as well. I don't really get into the story. Like, this not wanting to put it down thing doesn't happen with ebooks for me. It just keeps me detached from the story in a way. And I also like the feeling of a real book and the pages. I do know that ebooks would probably be cheaper, but I don't know, I tried it and I couldn't really stick to it. I have to really force myself to continue reading, because the reading experience on an ebook is just not enjoyable for me, no matter how much I like the story. So, yeah. Number 10. How do you choose which book to read next? I have a reading list on Goodreads and also on my computer with all the books that are on my shelves that I haven't read yet. And when I'm finished with the book that I was reading, I just go through that list and see which books on my shelf I haven't read, and this book, I'm like, oh wow, that happened, because I didn't expect it. I do not read books with that kind of content. It's not something I'm interested in. I don't think negatively about people who do read that kind of content, but it's not for me. So I was just very surprised when that happened. The next question is, what's the last book you read that you couldn't put down? Now, I couldn't decide, but I went for this one. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now this is an inverted murder mystery, which means that right from the beginning we are told who the victim is and who the murderer is. We spend the book learning about the circumstances of the murder. This book is 600 pages, so I was wondering how the author was going to fill 600 pages if we already know who did it and who the victim is. But then the first half happened and I was hooked, and the actual act takes place So excited. It's a trilogy. Look at it. Just look at it. Look at it. Look. And then this cover is also so pretty, like the actual book. And then the inside is also so beautiful. Most beautiful book ever. It's fantasy again. Urban fantasy, but fantasy. It's not available in English, I think, so I can't really recommend it to you, but if you read German, basically it's about a guy who suddenly is chased by weird creatures. Like he's at a party, that's how the story starts. And then there are monsters who chase him. Which book in your collection has the tingliest cover? Definitely The Puppy War. Because it's so floppy. Right? And not just the cover, but the whole book is so tingly. Because you can flip through the pages and the sounds are so soft. Okay, which book do you think has the ugliest cover? I had to read this for school. It's Cat and Mouse by Günter Grass. And just look at this abomination. It takes place in Germany during the Second World War. And the only reason why this didn't come up with the which is the worst book you ever read question is because I didn't have any expectations. So I couldn't be disappointed. And with the one I actually named, I had expectations. But this one I knew I wouldn't like. And it's just the cover is a reflection of the inside because I don't like the characters, I don't like the author, I don't like the cover. It's connected to fond memories of school, but the cover itself. Number 20. What's your favorite trope? My favorite trope. It was really difficult to decide on one. But I think it's enemies to lovers, but in a very specific way. I'm not into the whole they want to unalive each other, they are mortal enemies, they want to see the other one unalived. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm more a fan of people who come from the very different backgrounds, very different lives, but they have something in common and they kind of have to work together, like reluctant allies, I would say. The books that do this really well is The Final Strife, where we have person from the royalty class and one person from the worker class who have to work together. And then The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, where we have someone from a country that was colonized who works for the colonizing country. Conscripts, basically. And then we have the princess of the colonizers, and they have to work together. Or in The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Sooooo, where again we have a country that was colonized and we have a priestess in that country, maid/priest, you know, and then a disgraced princess from the country that has colonized the other one, and they have to work together. And that, I think, is my favorite trope, when they overcome their differences and just find that they have much more in common than with their nations, or with what they were supposed to be, you know. A very fun way that this trope is done is also in Good Omens. I think my favorite trope is reluctant allies, not enemies to lovers. Yeah, reluctant allies. Because in Good Omens, an angel and a devil have to work together to prevent the apocalypse from happening. So that was fun, but they're not lovers, they're just friends in the book. But, you know, there's always such a thing as headcanon. 21. What's a book you've read that you would recommend to everyone? A Man Called Over. This is by Fredrik Backman. It's one of my favorite books. It's about this grumpy old grandpa who hates life, hates people, hates everyone and everything. And after losing his wife, he has the wish to unalive himself. This is where the book starts off. And then there are new neighbors who move into the house next to his. And the first thing they do is they run over his mailbox with their car. And it's about found family, friendships, but also tragedy in a way, because we get to see more of his life story, which is very tragic. And Fredrik Backman is also probably one of my favorite authors. Should have used him for that question, but because every single book of his makes me cry. Just the way he writes people is so gripping, and yeah, just his books never fail to have me sobbing at the end of them, because he creates a character that has so many bad traits and is so rude or difficult, and then he makes you fall in love with them, and by the end of the book you love this person, you love this character, and you're like, he's really good at describing and just breathing life into three-dimensional characters that feel like they're real. So if you're looking for something like that, then 22. Do you prefer standalone books or a series, and why? Well, with reading fantasy comes trilogies and series, but I prefer standalone books or duologies. Trilogies are okay, but nothing longer than that. If it has 4 or more parts, I will probably not read it. Everything from standalone to trilogy is okay. I don't know why, but if a book has like 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, I lose interest. And especially if the book series is already kind of far, like if we already have 6 or 7 books by the time I pick up the first one, train in April because I had like 7 hours on the train. But then it was so big and I had to really watch what I was packing because I only had a small bag. So I decided on a smaller book, and I also don't want to take this on the bus with me because of its sheer size. So I think I will read this in summer when I have summer holidays. I'm so excited to read it, but it's so big. And I mean, the font is also kind of big, but yeah. And it's not even the thickness because it's 860 pages. It's not even that. Don't have a problem with 800 pages. It's just how big this is and how heavy this is that I don't really want to take it with me on the bus. Okay, and then the next question, the last one of the long question. Do you have a particular book that you like to revisit or reread every few years? And I knew exactly what book to show you for this one. This is embarrassing, but it's Warrior Cat Into the Wild. I still have a lot of my children's books, including the entire Warrior Cat series up to season 4. I just recently sold season 5 and 6 because I didn't like them and didn't read all of the books. But season 1 to 4 I own the books. Except for season 2 because I didn't like that one as well. So season 1, season 3, and season 4. And every once in a while I like to read this one again. And this is so embarrassing, but you know, I like to write, and I didn't want to commit to a long time project while in uni. But I had this unfinished Warrior Cats fanfiction. And so to get out some of my creative tendencies and to be able to write while in uni without creating something new, I decided to continue writing my Warrior Cats fanfiction. Yay! I don't know, it's just something fun. As I said, I read for fun. Also, I think that the German covers are so pretty. I've seen the English covers on the internet and the German ones are so much better. I'm sorry, but we won. Okay. And now 10 quick-fire this or that questions. Fiction or non-fiction? Fiction. Hardcover or paperback? Paperback. Romance or thrillers? Romance. I don't read thrillers anymore, not at all. Comedy or tragedy? A mix of both would be nice, but comedy. Classics or contemporary? Contemporary. I don't really read classics. Library or bookstore? Bookstore. Indoors or outdoors? Indoors. Sometimes outdoors. Sofa or bed? Sofa. Controversial, but yeah. In silence or with music or sounds? With music or sounds. Either music or ASMR. BookTok or booktube? Booktube. Alright, that was it. Those were the questions. Sorry this video is so long, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, my rambling about books. Thank you so much to ASMR Fleur for creating this tag, for letting all of us participate. I really enjoyed doing it, and I also like to watch the videos in the playlist that she created, so check out the playlist. I think it's on her channel, under her video. I will link her channel. Then you can find the book tag playlist on her channel. Just amazing. refreshed and full of energy. And I'll see you